If you're a Sigma, you know how frustrating it can be to constantly deal with people who just don't understand you. You have a unique way of thinking and approaching situations, which frequently confuses others. Sigma males march to the beat of their own drum and tend to keep to themselves. But even though they may seem solitary, they are not the same as being lonely. They embrace their values and beliefs regardless of what others think or expect from them. While being a Sigma has its advantages, there are also some annoying aspects that only Sigma males can relate to. Here are 8 of them. Number 1. The urge to leave as soon as you arrive somewhere. Do you know that feeling when you walk into a boring party or social event, and within 5 seconds, you just want to leave? All Sigma males experience this. They quickly scan the room and realize it's not their kind of place. There's loud chatter, superficial conversations, and people trying too hard to fit in. Instantly, their minds tell them that this is not where they belong. Every minute spent there feels like a minute wasted. Sigma males would rather be somewhere else or doing something meaningful. So being stuck in a room full of shallow interactions feels like a prison to them. They might find themselves glancing at the clock, wondering how long they need to stay before it's acceptable to leave. Looking around, they see people chatting, laughing, and seemingly having a great time, but they don't feel the same energy. They feel trapped in a loop where the conversation is repetitive and the topic seems superficial. Sigma males crave depth and meaningful interactions, and a typical social gathering rarely provides that. They try to be polite and not show their impatience, but inside, they're counting down the seconds until they can gracefully make their exit. They might even start planning excuses in their head for why they need to leave early. It's not about disliking people. It's about feeling like their precious time is slipping away doing something that doesn't matter to them. When they finally leave, there's an instant sense of relief. They feel like they've escaped and can finally breathe again. They might even feel a little guilty for not staying longer, but deep down, they know it was the right decision. Number 2. You avoid being photographed. When someone pulls out a camera, a Sigma male's first instinct is to step out of the frame. He might find excuses to leave the room or position himself behind others so he's not seen. When they do end up in pictures, they often feel awkward and out of place. They might stand stiffly or try to give a forced smile, which never looks genuine. They feel more comfortable behind the camera, capturing real moments, rather than being in front of it. Sigma males are naturally private and don't like to draw attention to themselves, so being the center of attention is not their preferred role. They would rather live in the moment than stress about looking perfect in a picture. They think the pressure to be Instagram ready is pointless and fake. They prefer to be authentic and true to themselves, not just someone posing for a photo. Avoiding the spotlight extends to social media too. They don't understand the need to post every moment of their lives. Their happiness doesn't come from likes or shares. It's found in meaningful experiences and deep conversations. So when they refuse to be in a photo, some people might see them as aloof or shy. But it's not that. They just value real-life interactions more than a digital snapshot. Genuine happiness and friendships don't need photographic evidence. Sigma males avoid being photographed not because they hate pictures, but because they prefer to live in the moment instead of worrying about capturing it. Feeling happy means more to them than showing it off in a photo. Number 3. When people don't know if you're joking or serious. Sigma males have a unique sense of humor that often leaves people confused. When they joke, they do so in such a subtle and dry manner that others can't always tell if they're serious or not. This can lead to awkward moments where everyone pauses and tries to figure out if they're supposed to laugh or not. Sigma males don't use the usual loud and exaggerated ways of joking. Their jokes are usually clever, understated, and sometimes even sarcastic. They find humor in the mundane and unexpected, which can go over people's heads. To an outsider, this might sound like a serious statement. However, To those who know him well, it's a clear sign of his dry humor. But not everyone catches on quickly, often leading to a lot of puzzled looks and silence. Their method of joking requires a bit more thought to catch the joke, so people sometimes think Sigma males are always serious or even a bit stern. They miss the humor because it's not delivered with a big smile or a loud laugh. This misunderstanding can make Sigma males feel out of place, especially in a group setting where humor is more straightforward and easy to catch. When someone does get their jokes, it feels like a small victory. It's a sign that this person is on the same wavelength and can understand their subtle humor. Sigma males don't just joke for the sake of it. They like to use well-crafted jokes that make people think and laugh at the same time. This also acts as a filter, as those who get their humor are more likely to be intelligent and have a similar sense of wit. However, when people don't get it, Sigma men have to navigate the awkwardness that follows. They might feel like they have to explain their joke, which takes away the fun and spontaneity of it. Number 4. Being interrupted while trying to explain something in detail. Have you ever been in the middle of explaining something important, and then someone just interrupts you? It's one of the most annoying things, especially if you're a Sigma male. You put effort into making your point clear and simple so everyone can follow along. You choose your words carefully and try to keep things in layman's terms. But suddenly, out of nowhere, someone cuts you off. It feels like they don't respect what you're trying to say. When this happens, it throws you off balance. One moment you're laying out your thoughts crisply, and the next, you're derailed. Sigma males value meaningful conversations, and explaining things in detail is part of that. They like to ensure that the listener understands their point fully. So being interrupted feels like a slap in the face. It's like someone is saying, "What you're saying isn't important enough for me to listen to." Sigma males don't just talk to hear their own voices. They communicate to share knowledge or to solve a problem. So when someone interrupts, it's not only rude but also disrespectful. The worst part is trying to get back on track. Your train of thought was already speeding down the tracks, and now it's been derailed. It takes effort to remember where you left off and to bring the conversation back to your original point. Sometimes, it's just impossible to regain that flow, leaving you feeling defeated and unheard. Sigma males often deal with this by becoming quieter. They might avoid these kinds of interruptions by speaking less in group settings, which can be seen as being reserved or disinterested. But it's their way of avoiding the frustration of constantly being interrupted. Number 5. Feeling like you need a vacation after a vacation with the wrong people. You just got back from a vacation with some friends, and now you feel more tired than when you left. Have you ever been there? Maybe it was fun, but you just didn't feel like yourself the whole time. You were constantly changing your plans to fit everyone's needs and going along with activities you weren't really interested in. It feels like you were on a completely different trip than everyone else. This is what it feels like for Sigma males when they go on a vacation with the wrong people. The trip was supposed to be relaxing, but it ended up being a constant compromise. You were with the wrong group of people who had different energy levels, interests, and priorities. Instead of feeling rejuvenated, you feel drained and stressed. Your friends wanted to do everything at once, and there was no time to just sit and enjoy the view. You're usually pretty good at keeping your cool, but this was just too much. You thought you'd come back refreshed, but now you need another vacation to recover. It's like everyone else recharged, except for you. Number 6. The joy of being anonymous in a large crowd. Sometimes, being anonymous can bring a sense of relief and freedom. No one knows who you are, and no one is paying extra attention to you. You can just be yourself without any pressure of acting a certain way. It's really freeing to walk among strangers and know that none of them are judging or analyzing your every move. There's no spotlight on you, and you can move around without anyone expecting anything from you. It's not about being ignored. It's about having the freedom to explore and observe without being disturbed. When you're anonymous, you can see and hear so much more. You notice the little things, conversations, smells, sounds, and sights. You can take in everything without the distraction of social expectations. This lets you enjoy the world around you in a whole new way. In crowded places, you don't have to fake a smile or make small talk. You can just be there, enjoying the moment for what it is. It's like you can see everything, but no one can see you. Sigma males love this because they value their privacy and independence. They don't crave the spotlight or constant validation from others. They find happiness in being true to themselves, not in showing off. Being anonymous allows them to recharge and feel comfortable in their own skin. So, while some people might hate being just another face in the crowd, Sigma males find joy in it. It's their peaceful escape from a world full of expectations and judgment. They can finally just be without anyone interrupting their thoughts or questioning their actions. Being anonymous in a big crowd is not about being invisible. It's about being free. It's a rare chance to experience life purely and without filters. This is a special feeling that many might not understand, but it makes all the difference to Sigma men. Number 7. You made a clear point, but everyone is confused. You just stated the obvious, but now there is an awkward silence in the room. People are looking at you with puzzled faces, as if you were speaking in a different language. You really don't know how to feel right now. This was the clearest point you could make. Sigma males often find themselves in this weird situation. They like to think things through and explain them in simple terms. They expect others to get it right away. But that doesn't always happen. It's like you're speaking English, and they're hearing gibberish. You wonder if you maybe used too many big words, or if your logic is too out there for them. Or maybe they just weren't paying attention. Whatever it is, it's frustrating. You were confident and clear, and now you're left questioning yourself. You try to explain again, using even simpler words this time. But you can tell it's still not clicking. Someone might even ask you to explain it a third time. By now, you're starting to feel a bit annoyed. It's like they're purposely trying not to understand. All you wanted was to share an idea or solve a problem. But it feels like you're the only one who understands it. This can make Sigma males feel disconnected from others. They often think, how can they not get it? It was so clear. It feels like no matter how hard you try, people just don't see things the way you do. This misunderstanding can make you less willing to speak up next time. Why bother if no one is going to get it anyway? This is why Sigma males often prefer to stay in the background. It's less hassle and fewer misunderstandings. They value clear, logical thinking and can get frustrated when others don't. It's not that they think they're smarter. It's just that they see things differently. And when their clear points are met with confusion, it feels like a waste of time and energy. Number 8. Feeling drained by people who always need attention. Being around someone who constantly needs attention can be super exhausting, especially if you're a Sigma male. These are the people who will do anything to get noticed and make sure all eyes are on them. They always have to be the center of attention, whether it's by talking loudly, showing off, or just being overly dramatic. Sigma males usually prefer to stay in the background and observe, so being around someone who always needs to be the star of the show can be overwhelming. Even at work or school, attention seekers can drain your energy. They might constantly ask for feedback, want to be part of every discussion, or fish for compliments. Sigma males find this really annoying since they don't understand why someone would need so much attention. They see it as a sign of insecurity and a lack of self-awareness. It's hard for them to relate to this behavior, and it can make them feel drained and irritated. When you're forced to be around someone who needs attention all the time, it can feel like you're always giving but getting nothing back. It's like having a plant that always needs watering, but never grows. This kind of one-sided relationship makes Sigma males even more tired and longing for some quiet time alone.